Hello, good afternoon. Today we are on week 2 of our series, which is helping your special needs child find his voice. Our aim is that your child will talk, your child must speak. That's my mission, to help you help your child find his voice, to communicate with you, to communicate with the society, to communicate with his God. Helping your special needs child find his voice. That's our topic. And for today, our topic will actually be that you are your child's therapist. So we are going to teach you how you should begin. You are your child's first and best therapist. Okay, so we want to show you how to begin. So quickly, a recap of what we did last week. We talked about the communication iceberg. If you were here, or you can watch the replay on Instagram, where we said that speech is just the ice you are seeing on top. Speech is just the tip of the iceberg, but then there are other underlying things that has to happen before speech happens. So this is the communication iceberg, where speech is just the tip of the iceberg, where and attention, memory, understanding, motor skills and other skills are what is under. So without these four and other skills, speech cannot take place. So we shared last week that parents always focus on speech, while maybe their kids are not even paying attention, lack working memory, do not understand or have receptive language. So we tackled that last week. This week we are going to tell you why we think and why we know that you are your child's best therapist. Basically, you, the parents, are your child's best therapist. This is because skills, we as therapists, we teach skills, we conduct therapies between 30 and 1 hour. Okay, so we can teach your child a skill. Skills could be taught in 30 minutes, but they have to be learned over time. When you teach something, it takes a long time for it to be learned. So teaching and learning necessarily don't happen at the same time. Teaching happens within 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 2 hours. But for you to say you have learned something, it happens over a longer period of time. So for some children, it could be shorter, or it could be longer. So as a parent, you have the time advantage. Why? Because you are with your child more than any professional. No matter how much you are paying a therapist, no matter how long the child is staying with the therapist, you, the parent, stays a longer time with him. So you have the time advantage to really make your child learn that thing that has been taught at the clinic or at the center. So you have the time advantage. You also have the consistency advantage. With you, the parent or the caregiver, therapy happens in everyday life. It happens consistently during meals, during bedtime, during sleep time, during playtime. You have a longer range of time to really teach your child those skills, and that is what is so important. Because if there is no consistency, we are going to talk about that later. If there is no consistency, repetition, learning cannot take place, even though it has been taught. One of the skills our kids, our special needs kids, lack is the working memory. So you tell them something now, because they lack the working memory to hold it, it flies away. So you have to consistently teach it to them. So in a therapy session, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, you have taught the child that thing for that 1 hour, 2 hours out of 24 hours. But you, the parent or the caregiver, have the whole day to repeat it consistently for the child to learn it. So you are very key in helping us find success in whatever we do. Then the third advantage you have is the bond advantage. Your child is most comfortable with you. No matter how good a therapist is, your child bonds more with you than with another person. So you have your way of bringing him closer, you have your way of petting him, you have your way of tickling him, carrying him, or even making him do what you have. Mothers and fathers have that edge over a teacher. So with that bond, you can get into a child better. All right, so I've seen over time that parents who are involved in their parents' therapies, who are more involved in their parents' therapy, have more results than those who are not. And when they come and tell us, after some time, my child has not done this, my child has not learned this, I'll bring out their notebooks, I'll bring out their books and be like, you did not do this homework, you did not do this homework, you have not been consistent in his homework. How do you expect to see results? So my dear, you are your child's best therapy. No matter how skilled we are, you are still the best. You have the time advantage, consistency advantage, bond advantage to really make sure what the skills that have been learned in 30 minutes or 1 hour is learned over time. Okay, so that's why you are the first therapist. So I want us to have this mind shift. I want you, the parents, to have this mind shift about your child. All right. The common myth is that therapy is only what happens in the clinic. No, it is not. Therapy doesn't only happen in the clinic or in the school or in the center. Shift your mind from that. The truth is that therapy happens during every meal time, every play time, every sleep time, every wake time, every wee-wee time. Therapy happens. And as I said, the therapist is not there. You are the mom or the dad that is always there. So therapy doesn't happen in the clinic. And the mind-blowing thing is that you are the hero. Time will fail me to really go deep to tell you all. We must have heard stories about successful special needs kids. Of course, Temple Grandin is there. We know of Albert Einstein. We know of a lot of others that it was their mother that brought about the change and improvement in their kids. You parents are the heroes. I don't know if you know. You are the heroes. If not for you, if not for your courage, your love, your tenacity for your kids for don't die since. The society would have made a mess of them. But you are the real heroes. So look away from the therapists, or look away from the professional. Look away from, I don't know how to say it. I don't mean that we are not important. I'm talking about myself too. I don't mean that we are not important, but I want you to know that you have more power in your hands than the therapist, than the professional, than whoever. It's the life of your child, the success of your child lies in you, lies with you. If you say your child will not succeed, no matter what, he will not succeed. It's just like being a teacher, and the teacher will do everything in the classroom, and when the child gets home, the mom is like, throw away that book, carry pure water and go and be selling. Who is doing book? So it makes the child's zeal and everything to die. That is even for typical kids, let alone a special needs child. So I want you to have that mindset shift to know that it is in your hand, that you are the real hero. If you want your child to be the best, if you want your child to be the best, to break records, to win awards, is you the mom or the dad. So have that mindset shift and know that you are the hero, you are the real hero, not us, not even your child, because without you the child will not survive. Okay, the first step in helping your child is assessment. for you to help your child, you have to understand where your child needs help. This is very important. I shared about the speech iceberg before, communication iceberg, where what we see is the eyes. Or let me not use iceberg since we are not even in the tropics or we are not in the cold region. Look at a tree. When you see a tree shooting forth, or the branches or the leaves shooting forth, we know that there is something under the roots holding it, but we don't see the roots. You plant a seed in the ground and you are waiting for it to grow. You know it cannot grow until the roots start growing. Those are the roots that hold up the stem, the tree. And for a mighty tree, the deeper the roots, the longer the roots, the stronger the tree. So that's what speech communication is all about. Because we focus only the outward part, which is speech that we can hear, we forget that there are some foundations that has to be laid. And because we forget about the foundations, we are like, I want my child to start talking. Why is he not talking like others? Why is he doing like that? Why is he doing like that? So the first thing in our line of job is to first of all conduct an assessment. I wish I can show my screen. I can't really show my screen, but then when I'll be sharing some resources with us at the end of the video, so that we can start wherever we are to assess our kids. All right, so the things to look out for during assessment are his attention skills, attention and listening, which is the first major skill. So does your child respond when you are calling his name? Can he focus on a task or activity at least 3 to 5 minutes? Can he follow simple instructions? Those are the things you have to test first. Then the second thing you have to test for is understanding, receptive language. We have receptive language, we have expressive language. Receptive language is where the child is able to understand what you're saying. So when you tell him, JJ, bring your cup, he knows you're talking about cup. He knows you said bring your cup. You just go and bring it and give it to you. When you say buckle up your shoe or lie down on the bed, he understands. So he understands bed, he understands lie down, he understands go. That's receptive language. So you have to know if your child understands those things. Does he understand when you tell him to does he understand prepositions like on top, under, where is, what is this, when are you going to we? Does he understand those languages? That is receptive language. Then the expressive language is of course the speech part, which, and of course it's not just the speech part, it's about him expressing his feelings, his desires. If he wants to we, can he communicate to you that he wants to we? Then can he talk, say it? Then can he sign it? Like if he wants cup, can he point to where the cup is, or does he draw your hand? Those are expressive languages. Those are the things you have to assess for. And then you have to assess for speech sounds, articulation and clarity. Can he say those words? How well is he saying it? Is it clear? Can you understand him? Can another person understand him? Is it clear for his age? Then social communication is what you assess for too. Does he make eye contact with you when he's speaking? Can he take turns in play? Does he even play with his brother, his friends? Does he feel annoyed when they come to take his things to play with him? Or does he just leave it for them and face another thing? So these are the social skills and play and cognitive skills we have to watch out for. Then fluency and voice, you have to check out how often does he speak. And then the voice, the language, because some children speak but it's like echolalia or without tone, it's just monotone, saying baby, as in my baby is on the So it's as if it doesn't make any, there's no fluctuation, there's no feeling. Exactly, there's no feeling in the voice. So these are the things you assess for during assessment, so that when you now find where the child is having challenge in, you now know where to fix it from. Most parents start to fix from the speech sound. Yes, my child is not talking, I want him to call me mommy, I want him to tell me that he wants to wee before he wees, all that thing. But what if his challenge is from the attention part? Or what if his challenge is from the receptive area, where he's not even understanding the word wee wee? It might be sounding gibberish to him, it might be sounding like French to him, while he is saying, bring me that cup, can't you see that cup? That cup is sounding like, I don't know how it is sounding like him, but he doesn't understand that thing you are pointing at is cup. So sometimes it comes out as stubbornness, the child is disobedient, he doesn't want to follow instruction, but it might be receptive language. So these are the things we build up on over time, so that once you do the assessment, you'll be like, oh, so my child doesn't really even understand what I'm saying. So you start building those skills. So that's the first thing you should start with, and I'll be sharing a resource you can use and assess and know where your child is at this moment. So after the assessment, of course, you get the results, and then you have to start with one skill at a time. Start with one skill at a time. Remember, it is called language building, or communication building, or vocabulary building. A building is a building, right? A building is not like, I don't even know what to, it's not like a pile of rocks you just place. For a building to really stand, it has to have some foundations. So you cannot call a painter when you have not built the block. You cannot call a window man or a roof, what do they call them? A roof. So I'm not in that area, so I don't know their names. You cannot call even a tiler when you have not finished a particular part of the building. So everything is in stages. So when you find where your child is having a challenge in, you have to start from there. Tackle that skill first. Don't jump a skill. Don't skip a skill. I beg you. If your child is still in the attention area, please ma, don't jump to we want him to say dada, mama. No, it will not work. And that is the challenge we have had with some people going for therapies. We parents want it in a hurry, and we are like, depending on your child, and not just depending on your child, not just depending on the hierarchy now, still depending on your child's intellectual ability. We know that even typical kids, some are faster than the others. Some will come first in class, while some will come like 5th, some will come like 10th, but they are all typical kids. So it is with special needs kids. Even as we are trying to build up the skills, some might be cognitively faster while others are slower. So there's no room for comparison, there's no room for rushing. Start with the skill your child is at and build it one at a time for him. Don't be doing this and doing that, doing receptive, doing expressive, doing attention, doing memory, doing fluency. No, it will not work. That's recipe for disaster. That recipe for frustration, because you not get the results you want, and you be like, after paying so much money, I'm not seeing the results, I'm changing my child from here to here. You might be the one causing the problem. You might be the one putting pressure on us and putting pressure on your child, and then they'll clamp down and they'll just start throwing tantrums for us. Okay, so when you identify the skill, know the one, and then know the resources to invest in. I think I've touched this because, as I said, If your child is lacking attention, please don't go and start doing receptive language, expressive language. It will not stay. He will not even sit down to listen to you. Meanwhile, you're trying to teach him cop, trying to teach him baby. Of course, he's not even staying to listen. Knowing the resources to invest in means when you know your child is lacking attention, you should be looking out for things that will teach you how to teach your child to pay attention. You don't go teaching how to make sounds. Invest your time, your energy, your money in buying books, articles, going online, buying data. I know data is costly. Buying data that will make you understand, okay, my child is lacking this attention. What are the strategies I can use to teach it to him? Once he has passed that stage, now you now go to the next stage. Okay, and that is how after reading nursery 1, you read nursery 2, you read nursery 3, you don't jump classes. If not, it will affect the child. You might think he's making progress, but after some time you start seeing the cracks. Yes, he has crammed that word, but is he understanding what it means? He's now saying cup. Does he understand what cup means? He's now saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does he understand the concept of 1? If you tell him to count 1 or count out 2 objects, can he count it out? Or you're just excited that he's now saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he cannot understand what it means. Okay, so let's be careful of what we are assessing or what we are measuring. When you know what you are, if you know what you are after, you'll know what to measure, and to help you to know when you are making progress with your child. All right, so when you know the resources to invest in, then it's your duty to learn all you can about that skill. Learn all you can about it. Learn all you can about it, so that you'll be, remember, you are the therapist. You are the one doing the therapist from morning to night though. Oh my God, I had a mother who, after I had done therapy with the child for like 1 to 2 hours, because for children therapy should be 1 hour, but for children I give them a space of like 2 to 3 hours, because we can't do them straight like that. So we break it up for them, so that within those 3 hours they will have complete 1 hour. So we do like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they rest, we come back again, they rest, they play, they come back again. So we break it up for them. So after therapy with this child, I'll give the mom some homework. Okay, please continue this with your child. After some days, the mom was like, am I now the one doing therapy for my child? All this homework you are giving me, why am I now the one? Am I now the one doing therapy for my child? I was like, I did not understand that. So I think I blamed myself for not explaining to her that we do for 1 hour, you do the rest of the day. If you want result though, if you want result as fast as you want, if you allow us to be doing it the 1 hour a day, 3 times a week, that's fine. Whenever you see the progress, that's when you take it. But if you want it as fast and as seriously as you want, you have to make up your mind to invest your time and resources into it. That's how therapy is done everywhere. Even for stroke patients going through brain tumor, even for psychiatric patients, it's usually 1 hour per day, sometimes 3 times a week, sometimes depending on intensity 5 times a week, depending. But the rest of the hours is left for the parents or the caregivers to follow up. So you should not, so I don't know, so as a parent, that's why we say the power is with the parents. I'm emphasizing it, the power is with the parents. We will do all we can as the clinicians, but for consistency and results, it is with you parents. Have that mind shift that you are the one responsible for your child's success. and it is what you put that you will get. The more input, qualitative input you put in, the more qualitative output you will get. Your child can be a success, your child can be a hero, but are you ready to do the work? We are here as clinicians, as therapists, to guide you. All right, so after learning all you can about the skill, learn some therapy skills also. Yes. So as you're learning from me now, telling you that attention is important, you could go and read up, okay, how do you do this, what is attention, how do you teach your child to pay attention and all that. That is wonderful. But you have to also learn how to deliver the skills. You have to learn skills like reinforcement, prompting, feeding, time delay, all those skills that will ensure that your child learns that. All right, so that's what some of the things you also have to learn. I'll also link some free resources you can use to start off. All right, so when you learn some therapy skills, you can now set up a routine and deliver. Okay, so that's how you start off. In summary of today's class, I want to remind you that you are your child's best and first therapist, and you are your child's hero. So that was what I wanted to lay emphasis on in this broadcast, because I see some parents, they just sign up their kids, register them, and now relax, and after some weeks they don't see results. They are like, why? They were not doing the work they were supposed to do. Your child is a special needs child, so it's like when you sign up your child for a club, maybe a competition, or for a club, maybe quiz club and all that. When the child comes back from the lesson and he doesn't practice, guess what? There's no result. We've heard of Michael Jordan, we've heard of Usain Bolt. The number of practice they put into, the number of hours they put into practice, that's what distinguishes them from the normal people. Ask any successful person, the hours, the midnight oil they burn, the hours they put into personal, in-house, private practice is more than the outside sees. So for your special needs child, remember he's special, so he doesn't yet understand. So you are the one that will make him practice for there to be results. So I'm encouraging you. I am holding up your hand. I am, if there's a way for me to give you some muscle, I will do that. But then please, your child can succeed depending on you. Your child can succeed depending on you. You are the one that will put in the practice. You are the one that will wake him up. And let's practice this. You are the one that will, no matter how tired you are, you say, oh yeah, let's practice it for 5 minutes. Oh yeah, say this, do this. Okay, and I bet you will reap the reward. I don't know if I should use this example, but we know of our Lord Jesus Christ. No matter how godly he is, sent from God, as a baby, his survival was dependent on Mary. If not for Mary's tenacity to say, Joseph, whether they marry me or not, this baby will not die. If not for her, Jesus as a baby would have been long gone. So it was the mother that said, you must survive. Even when the father was like, I don't want this, I don't want shame, I don't want people to talk, Mary said, no problem. Now my cross, I will carry him. And look at how she is exalted now. See how Mary is being magnified. across the world. Of course, because of her faith, her tenacity, her courage in saving our Lord Jesus Christ. So I want you to have that kind of heart, that kind of muscle. You have to sit down and say, my child, you must survive, you will make it. God did not bring you here for joke. That potential in you must come to pass. So you have to sit up, do the work. So I'm begging you, encouraging you to go ahead and do that. So with that, I'm coming to the end of this call, and next week we'll be looking at attention. Yeah, that's the first therapy foundation. That's the first therapy skill you need to learn. That's the first skill your child needs to learn in order to succeed. So you can go to our website, or you can join the WhatsApp group where I'll be sharing the resources I talked about with you. You have to start first of all to assess your child. The checklist, the assessment checklist is free of charge. Then there's some therapy skills training is also free of charge. I'll be sharing it with you. So if you need it, you can DM me. You can join our WhatsApp group where you'll be getting in-depth resources. You can visit our website, wherever the resources are there for you. And if you now want more in-depth coaching, more in-depth training, of course we have those services. This is me signing out. My name is Dr. Uchenna Hanotu, an educational psychologist, a special needs expert, here to guide you for your child's success.